Matt, how are you?
Hi Lillian, good to see you. Yeah, I'm well. It's summer. That's always good. Yeah. How's your summer so far?
Busy, very busy. Talking about being busy, we have a couple subscribers asked sort of the same question. What is the best way to communicate with your child?
First of all, how are your videos going?
Oh, videos are great. So it's happy to see people leaving messages about their questions. It's always very helpful.
Great, okay.
Yeah. Please leave more messages and comment and subscribe.
Yeah, I also like it too. So this question is about communicating with your child. Okay.
Yeah.
Presumably we're talking about parents and their children at home rather than school. Is that correct?
Yes. Because most of our subscribers, they have sent their child maybe away from China to study abroad. So when you have teenager child studying abroad, you have very limited time to talk to them.
Yes.
At the same time, being a teenager, you can be very rebellious. Being far away in a completely different culture, the communication can be very challenging for some families.
I understand. Yeah. I have 3 suggestions that I hope are helpful. So let's talk about the first one. I think the habit of having a good family communication routine is really helpful.
Routine.
Yeah.
How often do you suggest?
Let's talk about what that looks like. There are some families that I know who are very, very successful at communicating with each other. Their habit is just like this. They have a family meeting once a week. Fridays, it's dinner time. And they talk about what went well this week in the family and what they need to improve as a family. And it's mom and dad, dad to mom, mom to children, children to mom. And it's very, very open and it gives an opportunity for everyone to share their point of view. So having that communication openness at a very early age, I think is a great habit, very, very helpful to a family. And builds the routine for communicating openly. Also enjoying the benefits of communicating regularly. So that's my first point is routine.
And you said this can start from a very early age.
Right.
How old do you think?
That's it. So the family that actually I'm referring to, we're talking about early years children, and that means 3 to 4 years of age.
3, you can start at 3
Yeah,
to have a proper communication.
Absolutely, and it's a little bit like this week we were really happy with, and we're talking to a very young child, but this week we were really happy with this. This part I think we can improve. And I think that's really, really important. And the children start to absorb, okay, this is good, this is not so good. And they have some feedback and some guidelines for what happens next.
It's a good kind of training, communication training to the child since you start.
Absolutely. Being in this routine for perhaps 10 years, you can imagine the communication would be very open and very sophisticated when you're dealing with a teenager who then, as Lillian said, might be a distance. The communication mechanism might be more complex. It might be just by telephone or by Skype. In that scenario, you've already put in place a very good routine for healthy communication.
Routine as early as possible.
Absolutely. Now, the second thing that I think is important is to build trust. Now, that sounds very, very obvious. A family should trust each other, but what we're talking about is trust in communication. Communication is a two-way process. So if we think carefully about this, you want to, at some time, disagree with someone. It doesn't mean the relationship is over. It doesn't mean you don't love that person. It's just you have a different point of view or you have a different reason. So trust allows people to communicate their differences and it's very, very healthy. At some point with your child, you are going to have differences and you need to be able to cope with that.
Yes. We must do another episode about how to build trust and how to show trust.
I think it's important. I think it's very valuable. In fact, invaluable. Trust is fundamental, and it's part of unconditional love, and that's what parenting is. So please build, as well as the routine, the trust, and to allow people to really speak openly. Yeah.
What is the third one?
Okay, so the last one I think is more space. It's the space to listen. Communication just can't be a one-way process. It has to be two-way. So it's very easy. Okay, we have the routine, we have the trust, but the communication is all one way. It's all parents to children. Sadly, there's not much listening going on. So for the most healthy communication, there must be a balance of speaking, a balance of delivery of a message, and also absorption or listening. So space to listen, I think, is critical.
it can be very difficult to have the patience to listen to your child, especially if you've been out working the whole day and your child is talking something not as sophisticated.
Sure. No, I understand that. But look at it from this perspective. As the adult, as the parent, you must model behavior. So if you are a great listener, guess what? Your child is more likely to be a great listener. So show and demonstrate and model what you hope your child to also follow. So listening well as well as speaking well is part of communication.
So to wrap it up, so the first one is to communicate regularly, build a routine.
Build the habit, build a routine.
And to show that there's a trust in the family, you can feel safe and free to say whatever is you're thinking about.
That's it, to be comfortable to disagree. Like, I don't agree with you, and that's okay. It doesn't mean something is wrong.
Yeah, and the third one, I think is also the most important one, to listen. Yeah, to listen to your child.
You see that as most important, yeah? Okay.
I think so. I think that's at least the most challenging thing to do. I'm the breadwinner of the family. I do everything for the child, sacrifice so much, and now I have to listen. No way. It's difficult.
It's important. So the third one definitely gives space to listen. Like, if you expect your child to listen to you, the best way to achieve that is to be a good listener and to model that behavior. So absolutely, listening is the third element. So put them together, package them, and what a successful, healthy communication pattern you will have with your family. Yeah.
Very good. Thank you so much.
Sure, no problem. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.